movies we love, bitches!
Coming soon to this theater.
It's alive. It's moving. It's coming this way.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy Brian, back for another episode of Horror Movie Club. The club where, what do? We talk about horror movies. We watch them and then we talk about them. Every week we pick a movie that's always not behind a paywall. So the link to the movie is down below in the description where you can watch it for free. It's usually a link to Tubi or Plex or one of these other sites that show films unedited, right? So all the gore and boobies and beasts and everything is in there. There's usually commercials, but not too many of them. But yeah, so that way, when we're talking about the movie, well, beforehand, if you want to check the movie out and then join us in the discussion, in the chat, that's cool. But also, if you haven't seen tonight's movie and from listening to us talk about it, you think to yourself, damn, I need to check that out. Link is below in the description where you can watch it for free. Anyway, tonight we got a special show. We're talking about Adam Green's Hatchet, and we have Andrew Mangum on, who is the artist on the Hatchet comic book, and also I've discovered a bunch of other horror comics based on the Full Moon Puppet Master series. Now, I'd be lying if I said I was originally familiar with Andrew's work before being introduced to him by Pops, but I'm ready to get into a deep dive with this guy because I love everything I'm seeing, and I think you're going to love everything that you're going to see from this guy too, especially if you're a horror fan, especially if you're a gore hound. But first of all, let me bring on my boy, your boy, Matt Butch Cleaver Burke. What's going on, brother?
Yo, brother, just did a show with Lucifer Storm. We were talking as a Ed Gein book. So
nice.
That's what I was doing in the past, few hours. So what's up, man? What's going on?
Not much, brother. Not much. I got to read that book. Pops keeps talking about how dope it is.
I haven't read it yet. I told him I backed it. I haven't read it. I want to get the other 3 and 4 before I do a deep dive on it, review and stuff. So.
Right. Very cool. Very cool. And then, of course, we got my man Pops. What up, Pops? Yeah, I'm just going to let him talk for a while while he's got his ass muted. Oh, dude, do you have any idea how many times?
Okay, now that I got all the cussing out of the way, you know why I'm here. I'm here to have fun, hang out with my friends, look at horror movies, and talk to our friend, my longtime friend from long before I had a show or any of this dumb shit, my friend Andrew Mangum, and his son Gabriel's hanging out with him too, and look, these guys are top notch on the art game, so you're going to want to check this out.
Most definitely. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you for having me, guys. How are y'all?
And also Gabriel, who's like off camera.
Just off camera.
There he is. He's in the co-pilot position tonight.
Yeah, on standby.
Yeah, most definitely. Fellas, thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. And tonight we are going to be talking some horror movies. And of course, another thing, if you love horror movies and you're a comic book nerd, guess what? You love some horror comics.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Right? Exactly. And my goodness, man, this is actually a pretty good time for horror comics. I've been seeing a lot of stuff coming out That's really good. Ebon Press is doing killer stuff. Their books tend to be on the expensive side, but you kind of get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Andrew, do you want to?
As far as their books, dude, I'd love to get a hold of them just for the Kyle Holtz covers.
Yeah, he's in my top 3.
Kyle's a good friend, and I love his work. He everything he does, I try to get my hands on.
Oh my god!
All right, look, this is what I want to set the stage. Let me set the stage real quick for you guys. Then I want to get out the way and let you guys talk, because I've talked to Andrew lots of times. You guys haven't. Okay, so I met Andrew back in like 2017, I think it was, and I had ordered a book from him, or bought a book from him, this Hatchet book right here. And he took it around to all the people who were beheaded in the book and get them all to sign it too. So there were like signatures all over it, right?
Yeah.
And he sent it to me with some bonus stuff. And I was like, dude, you can't do that. You can't send me extra stuff. So I sent him some money, right? Some extra money, because he sent me extra stuff. So then he sent me more extra stuff. Dude wouldn't let me get ahead of the game, right? He wouldn't let me pay him. I knew if I sent him more money, he's just going to send me more stuff, right?
Dude, it's all about, Pops, it's all about being respectful of people that give a shit about your work. I mean, too many creators, I've been doing this for 21 years now, too many creators treat their fans like shit, and they charge for autographs, and they act like they're high and mighty, and they act like they're fucking rock stars when really you're not. You make a fucking funny book, so get over yourself. So be grateful for anybody that wants to spend their hard-earned money on you, whether it be $5 or $20 or more. Treat fans the way you want to be treated. So you were being super respectful with me and always support me, and so I wanted to give you something back.
And look at this, guys.
Nice.
Look at that.
That's fucking.
Those are just sketches. Those are horrible.
Dude, is that badass or what? Come on. Come on now.
AF, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, extra comics. Dude just kept sending me stuff. He wouldn't let me get ahead of the game on him.
Well, that's the
only
thing,
way I
Pops.
can get ahead is to promote the heck out of him, right?
It is.
That's the only way I can do it. So this was just another way. I was like, let's do Hatchet. Let's bring Andrew Gabriel out. And not only that, but they're involved in this other thing. And I figure before we get into Hatchet, let's go ahead and talk about this other thing that him and Gabriel got into with our friend Hart.
Nice.
You know what I'm talking about.
Fisher.
It's the big freaking book of Dahmer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. We need you to go back this cover. It's Gabriel and I did our very first jam cover together. So Gabriel came in and drew Dahmer there getting his ass kicked and torn apart by Hart up there. So I drew Hart giving the middle finger to Dahmer and just covered in guts and in gore.
That's metal.
Drew Dahmer there. So
I drew Dahmer getting his goddamn jaw ripped off, because if that's not justice, I don't know what is.
Oh, that's metal. That's metal as fuck right there.
Yeah, it is.
Just go order this cover, dude. That's all.
And we brought in a veteran colorist, a buddy of ours, Dave Kemp, who's colored Spawn and tons of books for Marvel and DC, and he's coloring some stuff for Gabriel and I, and he colored one of my Ernie covers, and so we need to go back this. It's limited to 50.
There's
dope,
6 days left, you guys. It's not quite at 50%. Look, Hart's been around for a long time. He's contributed a lot to this industry, not just the comic industry, but to horror movies, to everything, man. Come on, y'all, go get
part of the reason, I volunteered, I asked Hart if I could do this, and the first reason was to pay respect for a guy that fucking went on Jerry Springer and all that bullshit back in the day, and he fought fucking for our freedom to do the stories we want to do. He dealt with people fucking real death threats. He had people marching outside his house.
He's the only person that is ever. He's the only person that ever beat Marvel in a courtroom.
Yeah. I mean, dude, not to mention, I'm a fucking huge fan of his work he did at Chaos. I loved his Dead King story he did with David Brewer and Roy Young. So I'm a big fan.
Yeah. I mean, come on. You guys get behind this, back this book for, just out of respect for dude's body of work.
dude.
Yep.
I'm just like gobsmacked. I'm like, Andrew, how have we not met you before? How are
Right?
you not already like part of the scene?
He's
You
been
feel
in
like a long lost
the whole
cousin,
time,
dude.
B.
You can ask Gabriel here. I'm very low tech, and I know that hurts me, but I'm more of I don't do a lot of shows anymore. I sit at my table and I draw. I was, blessed to know Bernie Wrightson, and Bernie told me something great, and it was, hey, you need to sit at the table and you need to draw. And I know you need to promote and you need to go online and all that good stuff. It's a different day and age now, but dude, I'm here to push my kid now. Gabriel's going to be 22 in a week or so, and he's a badass. I've been in this industry for 10 years now, and I've had my time. I want to push my kid now. You know what I mean? So I just want to draw cool shit and be quiet and make cool shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like our friend Preston, for instance, who you definitely, if you haven't met, you guys are going to get along famously. He's one of those guys that doesn't really hang out that much anymore because he's just like head down and just like work. Because unfortunately in the crowdfunding scene, a lot of it is hustle. And then it gets to a certain point where you're just like, wait, I'm doing like 80% hustle, 90% hustle, and like 10% work. It doesn't, like the math doesn't work out.
Well, y'all are going to see me and Gabriel a lot more online. We're launching our own imprint, so everybody else has done their own creator-owned stuff. I've been telling everybody else's stories for 21 years and drawing covers for everybody else. I'm kind of sick of it. So,
what can you tell me about this one, Gabriel?
Man, I don't even have that in hand. I'll say that first. Look at that beauty.
Oh, nice.
Gabriel did this
Dave
one,
Kemp
Brian.
on that.
Is that a gorilla or is that a Sam Squamch?
That's a big ass gorilla, man.
Oh, we could draw the shit out of a gorilla, dude.
Yeah, dude, don't fuck with Harambe there.
Hey, I'm seeing a cover from Gabriel for Six Gun, right?
Oh
happen,
my
dude.
god! Oh my god! I'd be psyched for that. I would be psyched for that.
All you gotta do is hit me up, brother. I'm open.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Oh hell yeah! Hell yeah! So
My
everybody
work here is done. Y'all, you're on your own.
Thanks, Pops. You're the best, brother. But that's why we love you,
guys.
Dude.
Get to know each other a little bit. I'm gonna try to stay the hell out of the conversation. This is like match made in heaven. You guys all here at one place at the same time. So
yeah, no shit.
I'm gonna shut up.
Now, if Pops, if you could drop me the link in the private chat for this campaign, so I can. Well, first of all, should we take a look at the trailer because
Yeah.
If there's
I would say so.
Okay. All right. Let's see. All right, because I think it's like, am I in control? Is Pops in control? I think Pops is in control.
I can just play it, bro. Hold on.
Yeah. Blow the. Wait, there we go. Blow that shit up. Is that Kim Newman?
I don't know how they fucking talked me into this, but I grabbed this goddamn shirt. I have a box in my mom's fucking attic, and Jesus Christ, I look like a sausage link.
In the underground lair of an upstart publisher, the saga of Jeffrey Dahmer unfolds in the pages of a not-so-comic book.
It's something you can't get anywhere else. I mean, if you like the truth, you like something a little bit different, something a little bit more fresh, a little bit more bloody, we've got them.
Outraged families of Dahmer's victims have successfully sued to block further publication of the strip.
And we find that this book written by Mr. Hart Fisher, it's a shame.
We might find what he publishes absolutely repugnant, but here in America, you're allowed to publish and print whatever you want. We have all kinds of books about all kinds of murderers. We have movies about Adolf Hitler. What right does a group have to go and try and ban the publication?
Art Fisher is being sued by family members of Dahmer's victims for using their names and likenesses in his comics. But Fisher says his real concern is with the family's determination to have the comics banned.
Basically, the only reason they're here is so you can profit directly on their pain live while it happens right here. That's the only reason they're here. You brought them She's not popping. I'm not popping anything. She's making thousands and thousands of dollars by you crying on TV, suffering on TV. I did a comic book about a killer as a journalistic exercise.
On TV. We let you know that we do not like your comic book.
The whole talk show industry is based on festering wounds. You take people, you exploit them right there.
Truth.
Did you try to sue over this?
Yes, I did, and I lost through the First Amendment, and I've had that up to here too.
If it does bother her heart, what's the problem in apologizing?
Well, the problem is this. Why don't you go out and create your own product?
And write a book on what it's like to be a black called a Caucasian who becomes a victim?
Something like that.
I've been through a lot on the south side of Chicago. So when it came time to do my own comic book company, well, Boneyard Press was about that primal scream for life in the face of death. I remember sitting in my father's kitchen. We were having breakfast. He lived in Country Club Hills. And, and he's like, so this company you're doing is Boneyard Press, huh? Yeah, Dad. Yeah, it's the Boneyard Creek in Champaign, right? It's the Boneyard Creek. And I'm like, no, Dad, it means my back is against my grave and I'm going forward or I'm going to die. I'm going forward or I'm going to die. That's where I'm coming from. This is what I'm doing. If I don't succeed, I'm going to tumble into my own goddamn grave. So I'm going to go over everything and everyone in front of me.
Boneyard Press. Their titles include Dark Angel, Bill the Bull, Outlaw Nation, Jeffrey Dahmer, the unauthorized biography, Kill Image, Kill Marvel. He's no stranger to controversy. Hero Illustrated called him the most dangerous man in comics. Welcome to Cartoonist Kayfabe, Art D. Fisher.
This fucking thing's a large. I mean, this thing's tighter than the last one. You guys think this looks better?
Yeah, it doesn't show as much. It's black.
You guys are high. It's a large.
Slimming.
What do you mean slimming?
It's slimming. You don't look sausagey.
All right, you fuckers. Let's roll this.
It looks like me in the shirt.
Yeah, dude. When I should be rocking my Butch Cleaver T-shirt, and I was like, Matt's like, I want to send you a shirt. I'm just like, extra large. He's like, nah, man. I got an extra large, but I lost the weight, so I managed to squeeze into it without looking like a jackass. But yeah, man. My goodness, he has been at for a long time. And now, is this his first time in, going into crowdfunding?
No, I believe he did a Bill the Bull omnibus about a year ago, and that was his first foray back into comics. And he went on to a couple shows and promoted that.
That character looks badass too, Bill the Bull.
Hey, y'all talked about Kyle Holtz. There's a Kyle Holtz cover on Bill the Bull too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Like, understand, like, we are Kyle Holtz like stans to the max.
Yeah.
Like, we see him as like kind of like the modern successor to
Really
Bernie. But it's like, it seems like like how every high fantasy artist, how they're like reaching for Zeta. I feel like every horror artist is like reaching for Bernie.
Carissa, you got to get this cover. You got to get this cover.
Yeah,
you got to get that cover.
And I actually have a little money in my account. I can actually back this.
You guys want to see something very special and close to my heart?
Absolutely, dude. Let's see. Oh, what?
That's Kyle's cover for Mosaic #1.
Badass. Original art, dude.
Oh, so jealous. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, that is.
That's right beside me.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
And see, now he's got that beside him, and look, right over here beside me, you will see that. Oh, gee, there's Hatchet right there on the wall beside me. right
That's
there.
amazing, dude.
I can reach out and touch
Well,
it. It's right there.
Well, I'll tell you something about Kyle's work right there, guys. Other than Kyle, I'm the only person that owns any artwork from his creator-owned book Mosaic, which totally warms my heart.
Only person.
I'm a cancer survivor. Okay, I know in 2009 I battled testicular cancer, and there were quite a few. I went through 5 months of chemotherapy. Like every round was a week long at a time, and I would bring comics to Texas Oncology to for the each 7 to 8 hour day of getting all that shit pumped into me. And Kyle's trade paperback for Mosaic was one of the books that I would always bring with me, and I would just get lost in his work, and it would help take my mind off the pain I was in for 5 months. And so I'm emotionally attached to his work. And Kyle being a good friend of mine, I've expressed my emotions towards his work, and he was just, floored by it, which it amazed me that he has such a heart for his fans. And I met him at a show. He came down to Texas, and he pulls that cover out for me. And he's like, here. And I thought he was just showing it to me. And he's like, here. And you can't really see it real well, but he signed it on the bottom to me. And I start crying. And he's like, dude, don't cry. And I had to, because artwork, is an emotional attachment. I mean, I grew up, not knowing how to read or write real well. And I was one of the poor, sloppy kids and couldn't read. And so comic books on my artwork was my outlet to prove everybody that I'm something. And my artwork is part of my escape from the reality that we're in. So to have a gift like what Kyle gave me is tremendous and close to my heart. So that pops as one of the reasons why I do what I do, and I did what I did with you, with original artwork to you. You know what I mean?
Totally caught me by surprise, blew me away, and it came with a little note, and it says, "This is a cool extra that may see print. Thanks for liking my work, Andrew."
So
Which
not
it
just
did see print.
So not just like talented at the yin yang, but also just a genuinely good dude.
Dude, yeah. I mean, look, I didn't have no promotional network then. I didn't have shield shows, and I didn't come out and promote people. I showed off stuff that I got. Okay, if I
Brian, be careful saying that, because my son and I have been accused by being nice to fans as a gimmick. So that motherfucker, man.
Look,
we actually got into it with somebody on one of the little groups on Facebook, and this guy told Gabriel that you and your dad are nice to fans, and that's a gimmick. I'm like, fucking no, we treat people the way we want to be treated. It's kind of a golden rule kind of thing.
Holy shit, dude. That's just,
crazy.
I mean, well, people like that are just emotionally deformed. Do you know what I'm saying? They just, they see somebody, but that's the thing. People who are scumbags, they look at people who are cool, and they think, deep down inside, that person is just as rotten as I am. It's a gimmick.
Oh, I can be an ass. I'll admit that.
I mean, you can flip my bitch switch. Everybody has one, right? You can, I have a very, very, very long fuse, but it's attached to like a gigantic bomb.
I've definitely gotten more mouthy as the older I've gotten in the years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Man. It's like the older we get, the less we care, right?
The fewer fucks we give. The fewer fucks we give. That's one of the things I like about growing older. Everybody always just like complains about getting older. It's just like I feel more comfortable in my skin and everything, and you kind of realize what's important and what's not. And as for like how, I mean, I've seen how some people treat their fans, and there's like having tabled maybe like only 4 or 5 conventions in my life. You pay attention to like how people treat their fans, and I just remember the people who are dicks, you remember that, but then also you remember who the people are, who the awesome people are, right? And you pay attention to them, and you take notes. Because also another thing is at a convention, you want to be the fun table.
Yeah.
I got to give a shout out to our girl Carissa. She is the creator of Worthy Chaos, which is she's one of us, guys. She's,
Hey, drop the link for her book too, because that's the thing. As much as this is a stream about horror movies, I also want to tie it into promoting people's books, especially if we can promote people's horror books, right? Like one of the things I like to do is somebody's doing like Clint Stoker was doing a Dracula book, so we did a Dracula movie. And turns out you're the artist on the Hatchet comic, and so that's why we're doing Hatchet tonight. Although that's been on the list for a while. Like homeboy Matt has been wanting that for ages. But,
yeah, the Hatchet movies are a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I think so.
That was the whole thing when they brought it up. I was like, well, damn, I know. I'm pretty sure I can get Andrew to come out.
I know, that's awesome, dude. Pops, thank you, because
yeah.
Andrew, dude, I just met you and I could tell like, oh, this dude's one of us. You're gonna find a lot of like-minded individuals over here. And oh man, I got to set you up with Preston, man. You and Preston would hit it off like crazy too. But yeah, dude. So do we really should go over the tiers? I'm thinking, just looking at this, I'm thinking this is the one that I want.
Yeah,
that's how we get.
Again, guys, that's Gabriel and I's very first cover together.
Amazing.
Father-son team first collaboration, right there.
So
that one's framed up on the wall, probably.
Bravo, bravo, gentlemen. Bravo. Yeah, because that's badass right there. It's so fuck you.
It's all in Gabriel's art, drawing Dahmer and the coloring, not my shit right there that I drew.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna have a guest and it's not somebody that I know personally, I'm always trying to be, I want to be kind and respectful and polite, and but I was like, dude, watch the F-bombs tonight. Watch the F-bombs, and I'm just like, with this dude, yeah, no, something tells me whoever drew this is pretty damn chill.
Yeah, it's just badass. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you can ask Gabriel. The only time I tell him to shut the fuck up is whenever there's like young children around. And he's like, Dad, you cuss around me all the time. I'm like, yeah, but not when there's fucking little kids around or old people.
Fuck them, man. We're at least on YouTube right now.
Drop them. Drop the bombs.
As we were saying, you get older, fewer and fewer fucks given. Yeah, man. So yeah, folks, definitely go check this out. We will definitely be promoting this again throughout the evening.
There's 6 days left on this, you guys. 6 days left. He needs almost $1,300. So we need to work this one a little bit.
We will make that happen. We will make that happen.
Share them links out. Do everybody a favor, especially hit the horror groups, places, the serial killer groups, the places where this is
true crime, pops.
The true crime, man. You got to get the true crime groups.
Right. I don't think that they like being thought of as like serial killer fans, but
it is what it is. So I mean,
it is what it is.
Look at all the moms that stay home and watch it during the day. They're watching true crime.
I wasn't a Dean fan until he became a demon hunter. Okay.
Well, I had somebody say, "Hey, dude, I really don't think I'm going to back that cover because I don't want to glorify a serial killer." I go, "But dude, you got comics that have World War II storylines and Hitler's in them. You're buying a book that's glorifying a fucking mass murder right there. Fuck.
Look, you know what I mean? I know, like 50 million people.
I mean, shit.
Statistically, it's definitely going to be.
What you were saying before about being in the hospital going through chemo, which I've never experienced, but my father had pancreatic cancer. We all know somebody that's been through chemo, and that shit is severe, right?
Yes.
And it's a bad time. Like I have one friend that God bless him, I lost a couple of years ago, who had been through chemo and was like, I'm not doing that shit again. And was just like, and just decided to, let the cancer run its course. That's how bad chemo is. And you had that Kyle Holtz book, and while you were reading it, it alleviated your pain.
Yep,
that is what art is for.
Dude, his book Mosaic, his work is beautiful, but his book Mosaic, is absolutely astonishingly beautiful. He wrote and illustrated it. All of you need to go pick it up somewhere.
Most definitely. That's no. I mean, I don't have it, and
I promise you,
I'm writing that shit down.
Look up, go get Mosaic. Okay, go find it on eBay. I swear to you, it's like a 6-issue miniseries, I believe, or there's trade paperbacks out there. It is one of the best books he's ever done. He drew it right around the time he was doing Evil Ernie Destroyer at Chaos. So the man was drawing one book and writing and illustrating another book at the same time. It's beautiful. It is his epic masterpiece, I think.
Oh my God. How do I not already have that? I feel lame for not having that.
Look it up. And if you get it and you don't like it and you think it actually sucks and you do a live stream video bashing it, how much it's garbage, I'll do you a free sketch.
No. Just
because
you don't like it, you just mail it.
Because I'm telling you, I won't end up doing you a free sketch because the book's so fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that's where I'm going with that.
That's a gangster move right there.
But if you don't like it, just put it in a Gemini and put my little address on there. Ship it right on off to Pops because I like it. I promise.
You don't got to sell me. He's like in my top 3 favorite artists of all time.
Yep.
Yeah, it is a spectacular book.
Most definitely.
I never even. I just had the Billy the Kid stuff from back. That's how I discovered him.
Kyle actually did the alternate cover for a creator-owned book I did called Wilder with Mark Kidwell, the writer of 68 from Image Comics. It's a werewolf story about an American GI in World War II that becomes a werewolf, and he follows this other werewolf through all the different wars like Desert Storm and Korean War and Vietnam and whatnot. So Kyle did an alternate cover to that book for Mark Kidwell and I.
Oh man, that sounds dope. What's the name of that again?
Wilder.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's from a publisher called Monsterverse. Kerry Gamble's company, Monsterverse, put it out.
Oh, nice.
Brian's writing that shit down.
No, I do because if there's something that's out there that people tell me that it's dope, I want to check it out. And especially if it's like Kyle Holtz, and that's the thing is, since I disconnected from like the mainstream comic scene, there's a lot of shit that I've missed, right? Because like the LCSs, my LCS doesn't even sell comic books anymore, right? Which breaks my heart, but it is what it is. Who the hell wants to read fucking modern mainstream comics, even like sort of like the bigger independents? Who wants to read that shit? Something like this could never get published today. There's no freaking way. Nobody would touch this. It's like crowdfunding is the way to go, man, without a freaking doubt.
So all of you guys, please back Gabriel and I's very first collaborative cover there for Hart Fisher's Big Book of Dahmer. So again, do it because you love Gabriel and I's work together. Do it because we're father and son. Do it because you're paying respect to Hart Fisher, a man that fucking paved the way for all of us and fucking stood his ground against fucking hippies that didn't want him to tell the stories that he wanted to say. He's one of the guys that paved the way for us. So we just need to, to show some support.
Well, this is one of the things I wanted to say about Hart. Hart's being, you guys talk about being shadow banned on Indiegogo.
Oh, shit.
Hart is being blacked out by all of mainstream media.
I'm shocked.
Everybody.
Yeah, no shit, Pops.
Look,
I mean,
this guy went through all the talk shows back in the day over this, and now that the Netflix thing come out and they ruined his cover, they changed the cover of his book on the Netflix show. Okay, they put their actor on Hart's cover, like that's what the comic was, and that's not what the comic was. Okay, they misrepresented Hart, and then it's like nobody will talk to him about it. Nobody. Except us. We're the only fucking outlet he's got to get seen, so we got to work like 10 times as hard.
dude, we can do that. We can do that. There's no way that this book isn't getting funded. You know, and you know, have you? I mean, we'll talk. We could talk later about like, you know, hitting the other streams and everything like that. But yeah, you're talking to backer number 14 here, folks.
Thank you.
You got it, man.
Nice.
Look, you know, I keeps it real. I don't back something unless it looks like something that like I kind of have to have. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
I think you're backer number 15.
Am I? Yeah. Let's refresh. Let's see if we got any backers during this. Because people, come on, this looks absolutely freaking amazing.
It is definitely there now. I see it went up $65 in one backer. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Brian. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah,
Thank you.
No worries. No worries. Just, you know, like I said, if it's something that I'm not into, I do not back it. Let's take a real quick look at the trailer for tonight's movie, Hatchet. By the way, folks, if you haven't seen this is like a movie by Adam Green from 2006. It was the last movie that was shot in Louisiana, actually, right before Hurricane Katrina. Damn. And it's not so. I wouldn't say it's so. Matt, would you agree with me when I say that this is? I don't know. It's. I don't know if I would call it a satire of a horror movie.
I would say it's more of a homage to the classic American horror slasher.
Right. Because I remember like the tagline was like old school American horror.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
definitely.
This isn't old school. It's retro.
Yeah,
right.
It's its own, and then it became its own thing. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned. And he's up there with he's up there with Freddy, Jason. I like him. You know, I like him maybe even more than Freddy and Jason. You know, I mean, he gets skipped over a lot, but he's modern. He's a modern slasher. You know, like yeah, man, he's just so cool. I love Victor Crowley.
There's a really dope action figure of him out right now. I just saw it at like the local Target the other day. One of the things that's cool is you know, he comes with accessories, and one of them, belt sander.
Oh yeah, from this one, right?
Because I mean, that's one of my favorite parts of this movie. I know we're jumping ahead here, but when he comes out and like the engine on that thing is roaring, and you're thinking like, oh, a chainsaw. It's like, no, belt sander.
Got something special for you.
Got something that's kind of special, something for you. So anyway, folks, let's take a quick look at the trailer. As you know, as I always say, we have to like stop them periodically so we don't get yanked off the air, which is stupid because it's a trailer, which means it's a commercial, right? For the interested parties. But let's just take a quick look at that. What? My browser won't let me. Wait, hold on a sec.
I remember when this movie came out, they had it at Best Buy, and my buddy, he got the special edition. At the time, I couldn't pick it up, and it came with the little Hatchet keychain. And he would always dangle that keychain over my head because I could never. And I still haven't bought the first one, right? I bought the second one.
Oh well,
the second one's my favorite, but I love this one almost just as much.
First of all, we got to take a look at like some of the art, because like one of the things we always do on this stream is I always do a Google and look for movie posters, fan arts, anything that's related, especially if it's something that's comic book related to the Knight's movie. By the way, that's not a hatchet; it's an axe.
Right.
But that's picking nits. That's me just being a dick for pointing that out. But yeah, this could not possibly have been real, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No,
there's no
definitely
way.
Not. Just fun.
That's real.
That's real right there.
That's you right there.
Oh my god.
Hey, that cover right there. That cover originally has her shirt says Twisted Sister on it because one of Dee's sons in that movie, and so I put on Twisted Sister's logo, and I was instructed to take it off. So the colorist took it off. Gene Jimenez took it off, and I thought I could get away with it because of the fact that Adam is such a huge D. Snyder fan,
Yeah,
and he
he's
even
on
put his
Holliston.
son in the movie. So
Yeah, I mean, D. Snyder's like a regular on Holliston, the TV series, right? That Adam Green does. So,
and that cover also didn't gain me any points with any feminists.
yeah. Jesus Christ, man. You know, I mean, and especially you're talking about. I know. We all feel we're all frustrated with this very same group of people that were never part of this scene, that were never part of the fandom, came in and decided to start policing it and fucking it up. And needless to say, real FU horror art isn't going to go over very well with these fucking shrinking violet pussies. I love this.
That's my cover right there. Right there, baby.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, that cover was drawn by Richard Bonk. He's a badass illustrator.
He's the one that did Private American with Mike Baron.
Yeah, I was gonna say
all our people are attached together, yo.
I know.
All our people are attached together.
I was saying, Andrew, I was looking at your work, and I'm just like, oh, Mike. You know, if Mike doesn't know about this dude yet, he's gonna throw some work his way for sure.
Oh.
Have you met Mike by any chance?
Not officially. I know his work. Obviously, I'm a big fan. So
he was on the show before this.
You would get along famously. Okay, you would get along famously because Mike is just a real dude. You know, there's no bullshit, no artifice with that guy.
The first time I talked to Mike to ask him if he wanted to be on CromCon, the first CromCon, I was talking to him on Facebook or whatever, and he sent me one message. And it was, here's my phone number, Pops, call me. And I was like, oh shit, this guy's old school. I like that.
Yeah,
and it's
man.
like,
yeah, man.
That told me everything I needed to know about Mike.
Yeah, man. Humility is a gift that a man gives himself for sure. And Mike has it in abundance. Even though he's an icon.
Too.
I'm sorry?
That's Richard Bonk too.
Oh, that's really good. And this is yours, right?
No, that's Buzz and Ken, the guys that do a book called The Living Corpse.
I know that book.
The interior of that one? What?
I know that book.
Yeah, that's my interiors are in that.
Okay, hold up. Because I can show that.
Scooby-Doo.
I thought this was pretty cool.
Big in me for a second, Brian. Let's look at some interiors.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That Andrew did.
Nice. Oh, yeah, boy.
Oh,
you got to get to better pages.
There's our
you got to get better pages.
The one I opened it up to. We'll find you something good. Oh,
hell yeah.
Man. Can't show that.
And unfortunately, I wish I had more time to do this book. Issue 0 was drawn in 2016, which issue 0 recaps the first film. Issue 1, I love that kill right there.
Look, she's wearing Spidey's outfit, dude.
Yeah.
And hey, pops that other page with all the severed heads that has some fans on it right there.
Yeah. See, he went and got
Fans
everybody
love it.
whose head was severed, all of his friends.
Oh,
He got them
dude.
all to sign it.
The drawn-in tears, I'm telling you, the drawn-in tears, people love to get killed.
They do. They love it.
And the most brutal ways imaginable.
Issue 2 of Hatchet actually has a buddy of mine, Frank Toohey, getting ripped in half. So I also killed Frank on a Puppet Master cover also.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, people love seeing themselves getting killed in the comics, man.
It's one of my biggest ways to say thank you to people I give a shit about is to kill them in books. It's a way of immortalizing you in print, and it's fun. I mean, you get
no shit. No shit.
I'd love it if an artist that I knew drew me in a book, and whether I get killed off or anything.
Hell yeah, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. Oh my
God, that's my cover.
We can make that happen, Andrew. How'd you like to get shot by a big gorilla?
That would be amazing. Oh, dude, yeah. If I commission a cover for these guys, like I have Andrew taking a big old slug in the head. Although then again,
I've killed myself in a lot of books.
Throwing yourself into wood chippers or onto
I think
axes.
that's your son saying that, huh?
Just want to let you know I care, Pops. That's really good art right there. That's a really good movie poster style. I think this is from one of the DVD or Blu-ray releases. You know, Arrow puts those out. Vinegar Syndrome. Like, this is like the best time ever. This is the best time ever to be a horror movie fan, because you can get like these incredible 4K transfers of these like awesome old movies. Like everything is accessible. Who is this by?
It almost looked like Corbin a bit from back there, but when you zoom in, it
does.
looks a little different. That's nice.
Right, that is beautiful right there. And there's Tony Todd. We're gonna be talking about him.
There you go.
That's my buddy Frank right there.
I had a feeling, man. I looked at this and I had a feeling. You can just tell from the way the face is drawn that that's like an actual person. It's got to be like.
I even put his initials on the bill of the cap too. Like, it's like a nickname for him. So Frank owns that original.
Oh,
it's like, yeah. I got you. Don't worry. Don't trip.
Yeah. So Frank died by Victor Crowley and one of the puppets from Puppet Master.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, that's the best, man. Oh, that's fucking cool. Hell yeah, man. So, actually, let's see. I was going to play the trailer.
Now, is that a young Andrew Mangum? No, I'm kidding.
Let's see.
You didn't secretly star in this shit too, did you, Andrew?
No.
All right. Just checking.
All right. Let's see. Okay, here's a trailer. There we go. We can check it out. You guys getting sound?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Once upon a time, there was a boy named Victor Crowley. Folks weren't too kind to Victor, so he stayed hidden in his daddy's house, out in the bayou. One night, some mean children came to his house, and there was a bad fire. When his daddy chopped down the door to save him, he didn't know Victor was pressed against the other side. And poor Victor Crowley died. They say people disappear in those woods.
Disappear, more like fall into a meat grinder.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger right there.
Oh yeah, yep. Robert Englund, horror royalty, and Tony Todd, also horror royalty.
Not to mention Kane as Victor Crowley.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that, absolutely. And also Kane as Victor Crowley's father.
Yep.
Roaming in the woods, crying for his dad.
I want to go home. We're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die.
Harry Knowles.
I know. Blast from the past, huh? That dates this, doesn't it? Yeah, Hatchet caused a real stir when it came out. It was one of those movies that the horror press was hyping a lot. Fangoria, although Fangoria was kind of like a shell of its former self, I think, around that time. And I kind of approached it like, because see, I was never a slasher guy when I was a kid, right? And I've never been, not that I didn't watch them, because I watched, if it was a horror movie, I watched it, right?
Yeah.
Like subgenre be damned, but I wasn't like heavily into like the Friday the 13th movies.
Right.
I liked Elm Street 1 and 3. At that point, at a certain point at the 80s horror franchises, I kind of started to tune out. My friend Chris, who I believe is listening right now. What up, Chris? If you're listening, he is like a Friday the 13th like stan. And knows all his trivia, knows all his lore. Although actually, he's even more of a Halloween stan, right? And so Victor Crowley is basically Jason Voorhees on steroids.
Yeah.
Right, but not. And mind you, of course, the Jason Voorhees that we all know didn't come from the original Friday the 13th. The Friday the 13th, it was his mother that was the killer. And then in the second one, it was him, but a much smaller version. And then suddenly in Friday the 13th Part 3D, he just bulked up. Got some human growth hormone. Yeah, got swole as fuck.
Yeah.
And and that was also the first movie with the hockey mask and everything. What I love about Victor Crowley is that he is very much like cut from that cloth, but he's still his own character.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Very much so.
Right? And I'm just intrigued by the notion, right? Because we don't know what he is exactly, but at one point the heroine says he's trapped in the night that he died. Right? So is he a ghost? Is he a phantom? Is he actually like a human being, the way that Jason Voorhees was in the first 4 movies? That is before he came back as a zombie in Part 6, right? But man, I just I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was I got a real kick out of it.
Such a good kicker, man, and so funny. There's so well
written
the dialogue.
I have. I'm sorry.
Y'all seen all of them?
I've seen 1 and 2.
Okay,
I've seen them all. And 3, you get Derek Mears, the second, the new school Jason, which is my favorite Jason.
I love Derek as Jason.
He's the best. He's like the pinnacle. Like that's my favorite one.
I loved Derek as Jason because I wanted to see Jason running at people. I wanted to see him, using a bow and arrow. I mean, you figure he'd know how to fucking hunt. You know what I mean?
Fucking Rambo. I loved it.
Okay,
and Rambo became him in the last Rambo. They took.
Here's the thing about Kane Hodder, not being like a Friday the 13th stan. The Jasons all kind of blur together for me. But the real fans, the real hardcore fans, there's something about the way that Hodder did the character that made him like a fan favorite.
Oh yeah,
like by far. Like it's not even close. I'm trying to that's not him in 3. He's in 6, I'm thinking.
There's a few of them.
When did
even
he take
the Freddy versus Jason? They had a stuntman from Superman, one of the Superman movies. Ken Krenzinger, I think his name was. That's my third favorite in the Freddy franchise.
Without a doubt. I actually think that's a pretty fun movie.
Real
I mean,
fun.
it's a monster mash, like Frankenstein versus the Wolfman.
The ending is too good. Like it would have been like maybe half of what we got at the end would have been. I would have loved it, but we got it so much more. I love that Tom and Jerry fight at the end of that movie. But
yeah, no, it was. I thought it was
side
fun.
questing. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was fun, and that's the thing. It's like when some people get disappointed by movies like that, I'm just like, were you expecting the original Halloween? Were you expecting Night of the Living Dead? Were you expecting Dawn of the Dead?
Right.
Do you know? It's like I understood why people didn't like Halloween Kills, but at the same time, people were like so vehemently against it. I'm just like, what part of Halloween, like Part 13, don't you understand?
Seriously, what I like about this movie
I think people overanalyze. I think people overanalyze movies and comics way too fucking much.
Oh yeah,
quit expecting Shakespeare. Just have fun.
Yes.
Yeah, they watch them under a microscope, and it's like just go in there and watch the fucking movie. You know what I mean? And it's and ask for entertainment.
You really don't need the physics behind everything. Just be
and
entertained.
it's better when you don't have all the answers. Everything doesn't need to be explained all the time either,
Exactly.
right, Brian?
Right, exactly. Like, I mean,
cute.
Ambiguity is something that, well, here's the thing. Always treat your audience as if they're as intelligent as you are.
Maybe more so, because some of them are.
Yes. That dude,
That's why I draw real simply.
I mean, just like have respect for your audience and just understand that, like, it's just like everything gets so fucking, dumbed down. Everything has to be explained. One of the things I always loved about Italian horror films, especially the Italian horror movies from like the late 70s and the early 80s, is that they would just take logic and just crumple it up and toss it out the window and be like, hey, guess what? You're in a nightmare.
That's fiction.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? You're
It's
watching
fiction.
somebody else's nightmare. Like Fulci was really great at that.
That's fiction. When you take the real stuff and you ball it up and you throw it away, that's fiction.
Yeah. Now you know what you're in for when this poor dude gets his arm ripped off, and then like Victor is like jamming his hand into his back and like pulling his fucking spine out. And then we get these shots of the blood splashing on the trees.
In the trees.
Yeah. So it's just
Twilight.
like, yeah, it's this movie's in an interesting space, like genre wise. I hear he's getting ripped in half like fucking Captain Rhodes. Right? Oh,
the kills in these movies, man, they're so creative.
Brutal. Well,
creative.
well,
like really creative in the genre of like they're really thought out. You know what I mean? Like in
they are.
In the whole franchise.
Whoa.
They're thought out.
I saw that.
Which I find interesting.
What was that?
Mardi Gras,
There's
baby.
boobs there.
I didn't see it. I didn't see
Bourbon Street.
I didn't see any boobs.
Bourbon Street.
Perverts seeing shit that's not there.
Bourbon Street.
Wishful thinking. Yeah, like the first, especially. I mean, you get Robert Englund and his son getting ripped apart at the beginning of the movie, but it's once, of course, he gets to the weapons that shit gets really, really, really interesting. And so
Office Space too, right there. Jump to conclusions. Remember that?
Yes. Trivia. This T-shirt that you see on this actor, I'm forgetting his name right now, is for the comic book store where Adam Green used to get his comics when he was a kid growing up in New Hampshire. So it's like a little way of like giving them some props. Yeah, so basically the plot, very, very simple. Let's face it. Slasher movies were never exactly plot heavy. It's Mardi Gras and they're these college kids. Whoa. And you didn't see that. And one of them, our lead is heartbroken because his girlfriend dumped him and he's just like not in the mood to party. And so
check out the high waters on the lady behind them.
Yeah, no shit. Damn, Pops. You got a
Those aren't even capris, bro. Those are just high waters.
Yeah, flutters, man. Damn. You got a sharp eye, Pops.
I love the 80s, 90s.
Yeah, man.
Big character in this movie, New Orleans itself, or in the franchise. That's another thing that helps build the character up too, and no one really that I can think of did that. And I still think that this slasher icon, I think he's, I don't know, man. I haven't seen really anybody top him yet. I mean, the only thing that comes close
Art
would
the
be
Clown.
Terrifier. Yeah, that'd be like
Art the-
kind of close, but still,
Yeah.
Crowley fucks him up, like regardless.
Yeah. He's got seniority too. Do you know what I'm saying?
He's got seniority. He's got swole, and I was also gonna say probably he's also like a little bit of Joseph, a little bit of the Elephant Man thrown in. You know what I mean?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. And what's great is that the makeup on him is incredible.
Yes.
Now, the special effects makeup artist for this was John Carl Buechler. And he was kind of like the poor man Savini.
Okay.
Right? Like you had like the really big guys like Rick Baker, Rob Bottin, Savini, right? He wasn't one of those guys. He was like kind of underneath them, kind of like he was doing like the effects for movies like Ghoulies.
Oh yeah,
right.
Ghoulies.
Like Ghoulies and Ghoulies 2 and Ghoulies 3. You know what I mean? Like Charles Band movies, that kind of a thing.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, if that's true, I mean, I know there's other people that worked on the effects on this movie. The effects in this,
so
absolutely,
good.
They blow. Because I saw John Carl Buechler, and I was like, the effects aren't going to be that great. And then I saw the effects, and they're amazing. I was just like, shame on me for like, yeah.
When he takes out, just the way it's shot. That scene when he takes out Office Space's wife. You know what I mean?
Oh my god!
He comes up and grabs her, and then they roll the camera around her back, and then he rips her head off. The one that he did the cover of. That was amazing. And their little tongues like ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling.
Oh yeah.
Shot so well because he cut one thing and he cut right into another, seamless. That was like a great job from the director too. That was like some next level shit.
Well, it's just great because it's like, unfortunately one of the parties been like bitten by a alligator.
Yeah.
This group of people that have gone on a haunted swamp tour find themselves stranded in the bayou with Victor Crowley, who is, I don't know if I would even call him a serial killer. He's really a monster.
Yeah, he's a straight up ghost monster.
Right? And I love the fact also that they didn't just make up his face, they made up his body.
His shoulders, his back has the vertebrae coming out. He's got
right. Yeah.
Because Hodder is swole, but I mean, he's even bigger than that.
Well, I don't know that Hodder is swole. I think Hodder is one of those guys.
Yeah.
Like Gunnar Hansen was like that too. I remember seeing that guy at a convention. That's just ominous.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be like the nicest people in the world, but you see them and you're like, oh my god, that guy could hurt me.
Right.
Like that guy looks like he bench presses refrigerators.
And he does a lot of his own stunts because he was a stunt coordinator. So he's probably doing a lot of his own stuff.
What you got there,
Andy? So the first movie y'all are reviewing, that's recap.
Oh shit.
In this series.
Andrew, I'm sorry, you're roboting a little bit. Can you repeat that? Oh, god damn it.
Oh, we can't lose now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can hear you now. You're just roboting a little. That's all. Just internet's lag.
Recaps.
Oh yeah, he's talking about how the first
movie we're about to watch.
Right. It's like the Cliff Notes version. Right.
Yeah.
It's like the Cliff Notes version before you get into the actual series, like the issue 0.
Yeah, I love issue 0. I gotta get those, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to get those, man, forever.
I'm glad that they started doing those again. Actually, that they even started doing those, the issue zeros.
Oh,
but I just love how he just comes exploding out of the cabin.
That was epic, right?
Like, really fantastic.
Yeah.
And he chops this poor dude in half. And what I especially love is how he takes the upper half of his body and throws it aside, but it's not in close up, that it's in a long shot.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's doing it like immediately, he's throwing it aside because now he's on this woman's ass.
Right.
And yeah, there's this wonderful moment, spoiler alert, people, where he grabs this woman by the mouth and the camera swings around, right? Yeah. There's the actor. And it swings around, and then we get the effect, the animatronic. Now, they had a strict rule about this. Adam Green specifically said, no friggin' CGI.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Verboten, except for erasing things. Right? So if there's wires or something like that, which I always thought, that's what CGI is good for.
That's what it's for, yeah.
Right? Is erasing shit.
Erasing shit, yeah.
Right? In other words, it's best when you don't notice it. And he just oh, look at that. Just opens the top of her head like a soda can. Oh. And what's especially great is the attention to detail, because you can see her tongue flopping around. Her tongue is still moving. And Victor Crowley is on the prowl, is on the ass now. and turns out that this woman is the daughter of Robert Englund's character from the beginning, and the other guy who got killed was her brother. So they've disappeared into the swamp, and 2 days before, and she's gone looking for him. And she shoots him, but is he going to get back up again? What do you think? And that's pretty much the nature of this movie. What I love about it is that it's kind of in this nebulous territory where it's just like, well, would I call this a horror comedy? Would I call it because it's not a satire, right? It's like an homage.
It's an homage, and then the second movie it kind of goes into its own, and then the kill count gets even bigger. Like I love them all. But even they retell the story. In the second one, they kind of touch on the origin story a little bit, and it goes a little deeper with him and his wife, with Victor Crawley's dad and his mom. In the third movie, they just go full like SWAT team comes in, and it's like it's crazy. It's like a war.
That sounds brilliant. That sounds brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one of the things I loved about Jason Goes to Hell was the beginning of that was genius.
A lot like that, you know what I mean? But even better, like
right, because you're always thinking
you got to buy all four of them, dude. The fourth one,
right?
Probably my least favorite in out of all four.
Okay,
but it's still good, and it takes place like on like they're on a ship or on an airplane. It crashes in the swamp, and they're stuck in this tube, so it's creating this drama. He's coming at him like that, and it's almost like a little different of a subgenre horror because it's like what's the word?
Oh, so like a
stuck in one little spot. You know what I mean?
Like a siege movie.
More like what's the word? Claustrophobia horror, I would say, because they can't leave the boat. They can't leave the crashed airplane because it's in the swamp, and he's coming up to the crashed airplane, attacking them too, and there's gators and who knows what. And then the what I like about the little thing they didn't even have to fucking do, but they did it. The character, the tour guide, the Asian dude, he plays a Cajun, then he plays an Asian, then he plays an American dude. Like, what's up, man? Like they didn't have to do that, but there's just smart writing in this movie. I love the lighting in the scene too. It's got like a Steven Spielberg feel to it. You know what I mean? Like E.T. or something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's a little. It's like some soft lighting and a little bit of like a sepia tone.
Exactly.
And there is Mr. Hodor minus makeup. I've never met him. I know he does a lot of conventions. I generally hear nothing but good things about him.
He's a very good guy.
Oh, so you know him.
Not like friends, met him at shows because of these, the books. So
right.
That's dope.
That is. Oh, man, I can imagine people would want copies of the Hatchet comics signed by him.
Yep. I've had a buddy of mine, Steven, he got killed. I killed him on another Hatchet cover called Hatchet Vengeance, and he owns his original artwork, and he brought it to Kane to get Kane to sign the original artwork also.
Oh, nice.
Well,
that's fantastic. Yeah, from what I've heard, he sounds like one of those. He sounds grateful.
Yes.
You know, he sounds like somebody who kind of like just like fell into this. It's like
Kane not only is a brilliant character actor. I mean, the guy's a fucking masterful stunt man. I mean, he's worked with Rob Zombie and everybody on tons of films. So he's worked on films that you don't know he worked on as a stunt coordinator.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he started out as a stuntman. I think that's what got him the Jason role. Because the thing is if you're and it makes sense too. It's like if you're gonna put a mask on somebody, and why not just use the person that can actually throw themselves down a flight of stairs and like not die.
Yeah.
Although stuntmen are just complete lunatics. I mean, they're like professional wrestlers supposedly. They're just who was it? John Milius said that he had a stuntman beg him, oh, please let me throw myself down this flight of stairs. And he was like, man. No, dude, you could break your neck. He's like, oh, please.
Yeah, see, some stuntmen really, they put themselves out there and they regret it later. Tyler Mane actually sent one of the stuntmen on Rob Zombie's Halloween to the hospital because he kind of dared Tyler to do his roughest on him. So when Tyler throws him to the ground, he severely hurt this guy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I love me some. Sorry, no shame. I love me some Tyler Mane, Michael Myers. He's my favorite. Big motherfucker. Like that, I like. That's what I'm saying. I like those Rob Zombie Halloweens. He's badass.
Yep.
My friend Chris, once again, much love to you, brother. If you're listening, he actually, I wouldn't say tricked maybe me into like watching like the first 15 minutes of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Yeah, it's just a thing with me, Andrew. I'm not a Rob Zombie fan.
I wasn't big on his Monsters movie. That was pretty painful.
Oh Jesus! Oh,
I haven't watched it,
man.
But I do like Rob Zombie's most of his movies. I like House
Here's
of
the
Corpses,
thing.
Reject, Halloween 2. I like those 4 for sure.
Andrew, tell me if you agree with me. One of the things that makes that movie so painful is that the actors who are playing Herman and Grandpa are amazing. Like they're really, really good. And
I think Grandpa was the best part,
right?
Even though I didn't like the mustache.
I'll check it out. I still want to watch it.
Yeah, Daniel Roebuck, he's one of us. He's like a horror guy.
Since I became a grandpa, it usually is.
I kind of like the stash though. It looked pretty like kind of biker. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Here's the thing: they're brilliant. Like they're terrific. And I forgot the name of the actor who plays Herman. He's constantly doing all these crazy things with his face,
and his teeth and stuff.
Yeah, and this like high pitched voice, and you got the got that down. But then every time Rob Zombie's chick is on screen, it's just like the movie comes like screeching to a halt because she's so bad that she just stops the movie, and it's just like. I understand, dude. You have to put your chick in every movie you make, or she's gonna like drop your ass. I understand that, but do you have to then make the whole movie revolve around her? You know, it's just yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that anti Rob Zombie monsters rant. You have to bring that up, Andrew. You have to bring that up.
Sorry.
It's a trigger.
Don't trigger Brian.
It's just
my favorite Rob Zombie film was Devil's Rejects, though.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah, I love Forsyth in there, and I like DDP and Trejo.
Mosley is the shit.
Watch a movie of those guys.
But Bill Mosley's the shit. DDP, man, talk about nice freaking guys, man. That dude's like a freaking saint. Jesus, man, just like moving these like broken down old wrestlers into his home and just rehabbing them and giving them like their bodies back, getting them off the pills and the booze and all that shit. That dude's doing the Lord's work right there.
And Dallas is like truthfully that way. He doesn't do it just for show either, you know.
Oh, he strikes me. Oh, I mean, do you know personally? Because he's. No. I mean, well,
I know. It's a small industry, so everybody knows everybody who knows somebody. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Yep. That's the word, right? Yeah. No, I mean, you could tell. Although it's just like when you see a human being that virtuous, even I start to go, maybe he's got like bodies hidden in like the crawl space under his house or something. Do you know what I'm saying? No, I love that dude, man. Yeah. It's what he's doing is freaking magnificent. But yeah, and then of course, the dialogue in this is really snappy. There's one line, evidently, like I said, I've only seen the first 2 movies. I'm gonna watch 3 and 4.
Oh, you got it. You're gonna love them.
After this,
get a big old bucket of popcorn, Brian. Big old bucket of popcorn.
You got it. One line that appears in the evidently in each film is, "You've got to be fucking kidding me." That line, of course, from John Carpenter's remake of The Thing. And this is that moment in this where, like, man, you get this great old school fire stunt. You do not see this shit anymore. Yeah. It's all that like really shitty looking CGI fire.
I got CGI fire on me. Yeah.
Here, look, I'm torn. If I was the director, I'd be reluctant to let somebody set themselves on fire in front of me. I'd be like, dude, can we just like CGI this? Because, you know, God forbid somebody gets like, you know, like really freaking hurt, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even with all the safety precautions and stuff that these guys take, shit still happens.
Maybe just right? Like, oh, Hodder's got this or something, you know?
Right.
I don't know.
Right. But then it's just like, then I see it. I'm like, oh, that's so dope.
Right.
Like one of the things I loved about seeing Maniac Cop 2 on a big screen, they were showing that at the Alamo Draft House, Yonkers, and the director, Bill Lustig, was there, right, doing a Q&A and everything like that. Really, really cool guy. And there's a scene where at the end, why am I forgetting Maniac Cop's name? It's somebody in the chat, help me out. What's the name of the Cordell, right? Where Cordell is set on fire, and he's just going from cell to cell, killing the dudes that that set him up. And there's a shot, where it's like actually a dude in a costume, but it's on fire, and he's like reaching towards the camera. I was just like, oh, that looks amazing. So it's just like you have to weigh that, like, awesome shots like this, or people potentially burning themselves to death. Jesus. Yeah,
you're talking about the practical effects and everything.
Amazing.
I love that shit in movies.
Oh, dude. People accuse me of being a Luddite because I'm so anti-CGI. But I'm sorry. The real thing just looks better because it's the real thing.
I'm the same way with comic books, dude. I think artists need to be able to stand by themselves in black and white and not depend on digital coloring or any of that fancy shit to make their books look good. So if you look at my black and white artwork, I strive to make it look like finished product. It's like a musician standing, playing acoustically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to have all the bells and whistles to make your shit look good.
I agree. Oh, dude, you're going to get along with Preston, man. When I get pages from him, he did issue 8 is going to be doing issues 9 and 10 of Six Gun Gorilla. When I get his pages, they're so beautiful. I'm like, can we just like print it like this? Because I don't want to see him touched, right? And what he did was, instead of actually, because I'm a black and white guy all the way, right? I'm a black and white stan, big time. Oh yeah. Oh, that looks great.
So that's a cover for can't show you everything. That's a cover I'm working on for Merc Entertainment or Merc Publishing right now. So,
oh my God, that's fantastic, dude.
I love black and white work.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, black and white stan. But what Preston did was he actually, like, quote unquote, inked it himself in pencil. And then I wanted to do like a special artist edition. Because like I was just like, I just want it, can we just use it like this, right? But then Ollie from 656 came in, laid down the colors, and preserved every single bit of that line work. And I think, that's a true colorist when they don't.
It's hard
where they're not trying to draw attention to themselves.
Well, they're not painting it; they're coloring it a little bit.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
As long as they don't bleed out the artist's line work, the actual art. As long as they don't bleed over that shit with colors.
A colorist works the same way an inker does. I started in the industry as an inker and worked as an inker at DC and had the pleasure of inking over a bunch of guys. And I still enjoy inking once in a while. But your job is to enhance the artwork, not to distract from it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yes. I see a lot of guys that either a bad inker ruins the book or a bad colorist ruins the book. And I had this guy send me some of his work. He wasn't an American speaking individual. And he messaged me on Facebook and just sent me his artwork. And he basically was telling me to find him work. And I kind of corrected him and said, dude, first off, you don't approach somebody you don't know and tell them to find you work. I don't like your work, so I'm not going to show your work off. And he was like, what do you mean you don't like my work? And of course, he's speaking in broken English. And I was like, you're an amateur. Your work's not good enough for me to show off to any editor I know. And he's like, well, what do you? Everybody says my work is great. And I'm like, well, they're lying to you. They're just being nice.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. If you don't, seriously, if you're going to do any kind of art, just wear a cup. Don't be a pussy. It's just like
wear a cup.
I can't look, man. I can never tell if my writing is good or not. right? Because it's on the end of my nose. I can't judge it until maybe 5-10 years later or something like that. So I rely on people to let me know, am I fucking up? Is this good? And the great thing is that when you're collaborating with a great artist is that you also, writer and artist, complement one another. And that you never have that attitude of, well, my idea is better than yours because it's my idea, right? That it's just everybody's just dedicated towards the same goal, which is just the finished product, which is just making a dope-ass comic book. But yeah, needless to say, a little fire isn't going to keep Victor Crowley down. Starts raining, and oh man, we get this great impalement right here. Once again, man, just the makeup and the fact that it's his that's a full body thing. I just love that.
That scene where he spits all that fucking foam in his mouth too. That spit.
Oh, it's so gnarly.
Yeah, gnarls.
Oh, a little bit of trivia. That actor, when he pukes in this movie, it's real puke.
I bet, dude. That's that dude from Grandma's Boy. Classic movie, by the way. Adios, turd nuggets. Do you remember that one?
I've never seen it. What is that?
Oh, it's Adam Sandler's best movie, and he's only in it for probably 2 seconds.
Oh, that explains it. If it's an Adam Sandler movie, I haven't seen it.
It's so good. It's hilarious. You'll see a young Jonah Hill in there too. But this guy's in there. He's this tech nerd, and he dresses like he's in the Matrix because it was right when the Matrix came out. And Grandma's Boy is a video game designer, and I don't know. Anyways, it's a funny movie. It's hilarious.
Okay, I'll take.
Check it out.
I will definitely take your word for it. But yeah, the actor is named Joel David Moore, and I think what he did was he knocked that back they didn't want to use fake vomit. Supposedly, when the actors, you could always tell they just put some crap in their mouth and they're spitting it out, baby. Right? You want
cod liver oil.
And actually, I think that's what they used. I think they used cod liver oil and cold clam chowder.
Oh gosh!
And it took one for. Well, that's the thing, man. That's a trooper. That's a trooper right there. I whenever you see directors when they're using the same actors over and over and over again, it's usually because that person's a trooper. It's if they're a prima donna or a pussy, they're not going to want to work with them again. But if there's somebody that will throw down like that, yeah, it's just, of course, how can you not find people like that endearing?
Just a tablespoonful.
But yeah, it's gnarly because when you see him puking, you can see it's actual blasted out of his mouth.
Projectile vomit, yo.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. But that's the thing. Also, about the violence in the movie like this, we mentioned Terrifier before and Terrifier 2. It's not supposed to be. Oh, we must discuss, sir. These movies aren't meant to be realistic. The gore isn't meant to be realistic, right? It's cartoon gore. We all know that human bodies Exactly, and that's what makes you feel like you're watching a comic book or something like that, right? It's
or a kung fu or a martial arts film, blood sprays,
Yeah,
Kill Bill did it pretty good. Sorry, Brian.
Well, no, that's okay. Although I remember a teacher of mine that was a Vietnam veteran, and we were watching Shogun Assassin. Because I would bring in tapes, he would let me play them, during lunch hour, and if you've ever seen the Lone Wolf and Cub movies, they're like the comics where somebody gets cut with a sword, you see blood spraying out, right? And he's watching the movies with me and my friends. He's like, actually, that's really very realistic.
How would you know that?
He'd been in Vietnam and seen some shit.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why, one of the things that drives me, it's always driven me crazy, is when you're watching a movie and somebody gets their throat slit, right? And they use the old, the fake straight razor with the fake blood that comes out, right? And it's just they slash them across the throat, and there's this thin little line of blood, and they go, oh. When you cut somebody's jugular vein, their blood will hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember watching RoboCop at the theater when it came out, and when Clarence Boddicker gets shanked and his blood's squirting out like that, the audience started roaring with laughter. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy. Wish I was there.
But that's also like, when somebody's a lot of historical dramas and films, they'll have to change the facts because the truth is just like too incredible.
Right, like they ain't gonna believe that. It's so far fetched.
Yeah, exactly.
Stranger than fiction.
To the max, and boy, don't we live in those times. So, Pops, have you ever seen Hatchet? Thoughts, opinions?
Oh yeah, me. I was a big fan of Kane. I don't know why, but Kane Hodder, for some reason, I was a big fan of his. Anything that he was, anything he was involved in, I watched as soon as it came out. And I was a Victor Crowley fan. Come on, man. Who that is not an Ozzy Osbourne fan did not look at everything that they ever saw that said Mr. Crowley on it from the day that album came out?
Mr. Crowley.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that's who he's talking about. Now you're watching the movie. And that's exactly why I watched the movies.
Hell yeah.
Blame Ozzy.
And always blame Ozzy. Always blame Ozzy. Well, hey man, look, I remember as a little kid, like even though Dio was a great replacement for him in Black Sabbath, I just refused to listen to those records when I was a kid because I was like such a Ozzy freak. But
I liked both.
Yeah. Let's take a look at Andrew's campaign again, and if you can make that happen, Pops.
You mean Heart's campaign again?
Oh, Heart's campaign. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm a little depleted at the moment.
I'm over here trying to work, and why you think I'm hiding? I'm over here trying to work.
Gotcha.
You know how bad I messed this up?
Messed what up?
You were in the right studio. I was in the
wrong. What the fuck, Pops?
I've been sitting here editing all the broadcasts everywhere because they all had the wrong shit on them.
Wow.
They're good now. They're all fixed now, but See, I'm
you're in control, Pops. We know. You're on top of shit.
I get high. Sometimes I screw it up.
It's all good.
Usually I don't have two of somebody's show in the studio at the same time, but I had set up the John Carpenter's Vampires one, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I accidentally went into that studio.
Yeah. The reason that's going to be, I think, our first show of
January 3rd. Yes.
That's right.
With Margene Holden.
Yes, the super hot black chick vampire, like the master, one of the master vampires, one of the ones that comes out of the ground. That's all like dressed in like the goth chic and everything. Remember, Matt's seen vampires before, but we need to do that again also because Sim missed it that one time.
Yeah, and we're gonna have him out. We're gonna bring him a special guest.
Yeah, boy.
Somebody that was actually in the movie. So, I'm having too much fun right now, B. I'm just saying.
Dude, like, if you're not having fun doing this crap that we're doing, then, like, why do it, right? There's something wrong with us if we're not having fun. It's just like when I hear people complaining about making comics, I'm just like, well, find something else to do. If you're not having fun making comic books.
I get sick of... I get sick of hearing people bitch about making comic books, and they act like it's so fucking difficult. It's really fucking not.
Dude, it's so much
fucking
fun.
Funny book. You know?
Yes.
You get all these fucking motherfuckers that whine online about how nobody likes their work and nobody supports them, and they just cry like little bitches. And it's like, just fucking keep going and don't feel upset if somebody doesn't like your fucking work. Just go do it for you.
Look at the total other end of it too. You guys, you're not painting the Mona fucking Lisa. You're making a goddamn comic book. Get it out into people's hands.
You're making entertainment. You're entertaining people. It's supposed to be entertainment.
You're supposed to be hopefully giving people a little bit of joy, getting them,
I'm just saying, waiting a year is not entertaining. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
There's no entertainment value in that. Okay.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. A year? I'd try like 2 years, try 3 years, try 5 years.
Trying to be nice.
I know. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, Andrew, one of the things.
The Mona Lisa. Yeah, no.
I always say, like, my favorite thing about this scene is seeing people like Matt who was like a name in the chat.
Yep.
And then watching, and then people like him looking at people like me and some of my friends and going like, damn, if those morons can pull this shit off, like, why don't I throw my hat in the ring? And now they're doing it. And
Carissa.
It breaks my what I'm trying to say is it breaks my heart when I see like people like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to make comic books, I want to make movies, I want to make music, but they're afraid of sucking. And that prevents them from taking from doing anything. I'm just like, get your shitty work out of the way.
Well, it's just science, you know what I mean? Like scientists, they have to go and they experiment on shit and they have to fail at it. And they're like, okay, this is what we got wrong. Let's go at it again. Okay, we failed again. All science.
And I do think you need to be realistic about it. I'm not real good with color. So if I'm like, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to practice digitally coloring, I'm going to fucking suck. And I may not have the talent for it. And I don't want everybody to tell me how great I am because I fucking suck at it. You know what I mean? Right. So I think if you have a desire to try something, try it. Fucking give it a whirl. Fucking try it. It's like trying fucking food for the first time. Just fucking try it. Be prepared that you may fail. And if you fail, keep going or fucking pack it up and say you tried it and move on to something else.
I look at it like this. Look, you see the first timers and then, they get through that first book, but I want to see the progression. I want to see the art journey. I want to see you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books down the line and how much better you've gotten. I don't want to see you do one book and then give up because you didn't think it was good enough.
Yes. There it is. There it is. And like we had Peter Gilmore on, and I bust his balls about this because he was talking about doing like the next issue of Jack the Ripper Vampire Slayer, and he's just like, oh, but because we're like, dude, like you're leveling up, you're getting like, you're getting better, right? And it's so much fun. I've gotten to see so many of my friends leveling up in the past 2 years. And he's like, yeah, but now I'm like so much better than I was in the previous issue. I'm gonna have to like make my art not as good. I'm gonna have to like bring the grade of the art down so that it matches the first issue. And I was just like, really, dude? Really? It's just like file that under like really stupid things said by really smart people. It's like nobody ever went like, oh man, this is shit. The second issue, the art's so much better than the first one. I'm out.
It's weird, man, too. Like if I don't know, like say you get good, like it's hard to go back and redo stuff. Like me, I probably wouldn't go back. I don't go back and redo anything. I say, this shit sucks. Oh well. I just keep moving forward. You know what I mean? Like I gotta keep moving.
Yes. Constant forward momentum.
Yeah.
And learning from your mistakes and not being a little pussy when people tell you, give you their honest critiques. And if everybody's telling you the same thing, you keep hearing the same thing that you did wrong, odds are they're right. And then if everybody's telling you something different, you done fucked up. like then it's just like, oh, then yeah. You hopefully get better with time and never stop growing too. You don't want to be that dude that's content to be where they are. You want to, I hope. Oh, it looks like you got another backer, or that Hart got another backer. Yeah, boy. Thank you, people in the chat. Let's get this book to 2K. It's a very modest goal.
Yeah, I could do it.
Most definitely, man.
It's weird too. Like if you learn something new in like a craft, you know what I mean? And it's like, wow, I just fucking leveled up. I just learned something new. Ha, motherfucker. I feel like you cheated, like you got something over on the world, like, damn.
Yeah.
and I got it locked up, like it's unlocked in my head, like I leveled up on one thing, you know.
And I think a lot of guys, as far as like creating their own books, I think a lot of veteran creators need to fucking give advice and fucking bring the new generation in. And in the same time, the new generation needs to fucking take that advice. I've had guys come to me with their first starter books and they've asked me my opinion. I'm like, okay, I'm not your mom and your dad, so I'm going to give you my opinion. And I'm give them my opinion and they get ass hurt over it. And I'm like, okay, I've been doing this for 21 years. I've worked for a lot of people. Take my opinion or don't. It means nothing to me if you do or don't. But I'm just trying to help you. I had guys that took me under their wing and told me how bad I sucked and made me want to get better. And that's, you know, part of the process. So I think we need the guys that have been doing this for a long time to take the younger generation creators and push them. And because we're fucking the mainstream's garbage now. So we need this new wave of creation if we want to keep fucking telling funny book stories another fucking 50 years.
Yep. Really what I kind of compare this to is what was my own personal favorite period of comic books, which was the indie scene of the 80s, when you had, my God, there were so many publishers, right? This was the era of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, First Comics, Eclipse,
Heavy Metal,
Malibu. Oh yeah, well the
Euro.
Metal Hurlant. That was in the 70s, man. But I mean, every wave of comics that kind of shook things up, like heavy metal, which introduced people like me to French comics and how awesome they are. Or even before that, I remember the head shop comics that were just like, like when you're a kid and you read R. Crumb, it's just like you didn't know that you could do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you come to realize that you can do anything in this medium, and that the only restrictions are the ones that are imposed by your imagination or your lack thereof.
Yeah, and you got to just keep going and fail. There's no other way to learn from failing, and even that's from science. Like I was talking about earlier, you have to learn. You have to fail to learn from those things. You will not. You can't go in like the average human can't just go in and learn something. They have to keep failing at it, and taking notes and learning from it.
Both Gabriel and his sister Ava, I taught them from day one. The best way to be a good winner is to know how to be a good loser.
Word.
Yeah. Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And that's the thing I always say about humble pie. It tastes like shit. Right? It tastes like shit, but it's nutritious. It's good for you.
It's good nutrients.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. And,
you guys really captured his likeness on the heart one where he's fucking up Dahmer. Really looks like him in the face.
It does. It does actually.
Oh, Gabriel nice cover.
Yeah.
This one right here. This is the one that you want, folks. This is the one that I backed.
Yes, please back that one, guys. Again, that one's special to me. Again, it's Gabriel and I's first, cover we've jammed on. He's been doing this shit for 10 years as a published artist, as a soon-to-be 22-year-old kid. He came in as an ink assistant for me, helping me hit deadlines. And, so this is our very first cover to jam on together. And again, when I told him, hey, you want to do this cover with me? And I'm doing it, for heart. Purely and he knew who he was. He was like, fuck yeah. And so again, my desire to do this was to totally help Hart out and to show respect to the guy that's did some of my favorite Chaos comics back in the day and worked for Glenn Danzig and did a lot of cool shit that fucking paved the way. He was one of the original fucking guys, like I said, guys, that like fucking dealt with shit that we deal with now on a different level digitally, we'll say, you know what I mean? Yeah. He fucking made his fucking, Marvel Comics shit and, Marvel Comics Can Die and Image Must Die books, and they're fucking funny as shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, some people don't have a sense of humor about themselves,
yep.
And get easily butthurt, but, fuck those people.
Yep. People see it.
Yes, guys.
Fun, man. Not take everything so fucking serious.
I know. It's what are you gonna do? There's always gonna be those people. There's always gonna be those folks, right? Like in the 80s, what pissed me off about the Republicans was what a hard on they had for censorship.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now it's coming from like what passes for the left in our country. It's just like, God damn it. Doesn't anybody believe
whoa.
Yeah. It's
Boat's
just like,
tipping.
doesn't
shit's crazy, dude.
anybody believe in like free in the First Amendment? I'm starting to despair. I'm starting to think that like maybe it's only 15-20% of us. Maybe. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. But right now, of course, it's these SJW freaks who are policing all media and looking for anything that's objectionable. And gee, I can't imagine why they would find something like this objectionable.
See, I'm not one to give a fuck about all that type of shit. I mean, I don't really. If somebody's cyberbullying or talking shit about me online, I just fucking sign off and boom, the problem went away. I don't fucking care. You know what I mean?
Yup.
I'm kind of old school. You got a fucking problem, mate? Come to me at a show and say it to my fucking face. Come to my front yard, and I dare you to say it to my face then. But all this bullshit, it's just fucking. It's online.
Yes, it's this.
And who gives a fuck if people don't like you or don't like what you created? Who cares if somebody with fucking weird colored hair doesn't like, you don't like my shit? I'm sorry. I'm going to keep fucking drawing it. I want everybody to like it, but if you don't, fuck off. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's the thing is we put our stuff out there and we hope that people get some joy, some pleasure out of it. Hope that people like it. You know what I mean? When people told me that like they've been touched by my work, I just, that's like, such a major blessing to me. And I'm just so damn grateful for it. But, not everybody, is as appreciative of their fans. But we know you hook your fans up well because you hooked Pops up like a mofo.
Well, again, I didn't tell you all the story about Kyle to brag. I told you the story just to kind of illustrate that him and a few other guys are the reasons that I was taught to be the way I am. You know what I mean?
Look, guys, I wasn't a promoter. I wasn't out here, pushing people's books or anything back when Andrew hooked me up like that. I was just a fan who had bought some stuff from him, and he fucking hooked me up, dude. I didn't have no Facebook group. I didn't have no YouTube channel. I didn't have no shows. I didn't have nothing. I was just a fan who bought some stuff from Andrew, and he fucking hooked me up.
That's awesome.
And, damn, dude, that's 5 years ago.
I mean, like I've done a bunch of Evil Ernie covers, and I had this kid and his family came up to me at a Dallas Fan Expo, and he brought an Arthur Sudan Ernie cover, and he asked me if I would sign it because he just knew that I was an Evil Ernie artist. And I looked at the kid, and he was probably 16, 15-ish, mom and dad were with him, little sister. And I was like, well, this isn't one of my covers. And he was kind of embarrassed and sad, and he wanted to get Evil Ernie signed. And I was like, well, let me see it real quick. And I go, I'm gonna do something. Just don't tell Arthur about it. And they kind of laughed. And I honestly don't think they knew who Arthur was. They just picked up an Evil Ernie comic. And so then I started remarking it, and I drew a real quick sketch of Ernie with his hair and everything. And the kid was like, his jaw dropped. And I was like, there, now it's my cover. And the dad was like, what do I owe you for that? And I was like, you don't owe me shit. I go, you already paid for tickets and parking, and you took time to come find me over here to get an autograph. And I just want your kid to have a good experience,
Hell yeah. And especially when you see kids at cons, because you're thinking like, damn, there's the next generation of fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Gotta hook them, guys. Gotta hook them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I remember this was at, I think, the East Coast Comic Con. This kid comes up and he's like checking out my table, and he's just like, oh, I'm just like, kids get free comics, right? And he's like, yeah. So I hooked him up with some free comics. Once again, not the virtue signal, but and I was just like, oh, it's like a kid, and it wasn't like a really young kid. My book is like, I would say like 13 and up or something like that. right? But he was about that age, where I could give him, a funny book that has like a little violence and a little cussing, because I remember going to my LCS one year and seeing it packed with kids, and my heart just soared. It then came crashing to the ground when I realized they were there for Pokemon cards and not comics, right? But I would say, if not all of us, most of us, our memories of reading comics as kids are like precious to us, and we kind of, look, at least kids are reading manga, which means at least they're reading comic books, because and eventually, hopefully, now that they're familiar with the medium, they'll discover American comics and French comics and everything in between. But right now, the mainstream ain't doing nothing but turning out trash, and all the energy, all the passion projects, all the cool fly shit is here. It's in the underground.
Hell yeah. Hey, while we have you on here, Andrew, I wanted to know your thoughts on AI art.
Hold on. Oh shit. Hold on. All right, you just unleashed the beast. Let me go get something to drink real quick.
Hold up. Hold up. Let me just. Yeah, I'm just gonna, probably sit that one out.
Okay, so I actually made a post about it earlier on Facebook and deleted it because my spelling was shit. And so my son, I was like, Dad, before you make a post, you need to make sure you spell things properly. I kind of got a strong opinion about it. I don't give a shit. The way I see it, the only artist that this is just my opinion, and that's like assholes, everybody has one. The only artist that I kind of see being threatened by AI art are the one-trick pony artists, the guys that all paint the same digitally. They all know how to paint a pretty pinup / cover. They're all exclusive store cover artists, and they're all threatened that, AI can, take somebody's photo and put it on a mocked up, fucking drawing, and make it look digitally painted. From what I've seen of this, and everybody's all ass hurt over it. The guys that I know that really draw comic books, draw sequentials, draw covers, they don't give a fuck, because I don't think that a computer could ever do that. I don't think it could ever lay down creative panel work and the personal feel that a human brain could do, So I'm not threatened by it. It doesn't bother me the least bit. Again, it just seems like the people that are threatened by it, in my opinion, are the people that I see all kind of paint the same. They all draw the same, like I said, like just bust up cover shots, and they're real pretty. They're real nice looking covers, but it's realistic shit, and it all looks the same to me. I don't buy comic books to see that stuff. I want to see tradition. I want to see comic book art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it honestly doesn't bother me.
I promote too many artists to promote somebody that types keywords into an app.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't give a shit about it because it doesn't affect me. People are getting emotional about it because, from what I understand, that you pay $8 or something to get your face dubbed on all these fucking like computer rendering shots of you. And a lot of creators are getting upset that, well, you're not spending $8 on me. Well, quit whining like a little bitch and draw cool stuff to make people want your shit over this computer artwork.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, look, the AI art, I think it looks like the best thing I could say about it is that it's interesting. And
I think it looks great.
Well, I mean, it's interesting, I mean,
awesome.
But then again, like, who wants to hear that their stuff is interesting?
Yeah,
right.
No, I think. Yeah.
I get the thing that it looks interesting, but again, it looks like everybody. It looks like, it's like that guy, Art Germ.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody seems to paint like art germ. That's all I see is fucking photorealistic digital paintings, and none of these fucking artists, I've never seen any of them draw sequentials. I've never seen any of them draw pages. They've never earned their due. They've never fucking paid their due drawing pages. You're not a fucking real comic book artist. I'm sorry. You're a pinup artist. You're a cover artist.
You're Mike Brooks.
Fine.
I think that the stuff looks beautiful. It's immaculate, but I fucking hate it, and I'm 100% anti AI art. But it looks gorgeous. It looks great, and it's getting smarter and smarter and smarter.
And forgive me if y'all were for them, but they're kind of like Marvel movies for me. Yeah, they're great. They look flashy. They got fucking big graphics. They look, but they're boring to me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard that the only people it's really going to hit hard in the get, like right from the get, is the concept artists, because you just type in, I want, the artist that you want and the subject that you want, and it puts it out quick, like pretty quick, and then you pick out. The hard part is picking out the images you want. You see the one that they're doing with like I forgot which Batman they picked, and then Akira, the director, I forgot how to pronounce his name. Yeah, so they did that with Batman. It was black and white, like street level, like realistic imagery, and everything looked immaculate. I think your boy Zach was posting it up on YouTube on his community feed. But Batman had 2 symbols, so there's always something where it contorts. Like they'll do a Conan, like an old man Conan one or something, and his hand will be twisted backwards. Like Like there's always something demonically off about the page because it's a
I'm not that big on a lot of like tech. And I've had this debate with people at shows, and again, friends with Bernie Wrightson and many of beers and coffee with that gentleman. Nice. And you talk to somebody like Bernie, and you look at the beautiful work he did, and people are like, "Well, don't you think Bernie would use computers to help him with his artwork now?" I don't think he would.
He wasn't.
You need no damn computer. Shit.
Part of artwork is it's kind of like I love to see the imperfections. Yes. I love to see the fact that not everything is fucking perfect. There's one particular artist who I love. I'm friends with this guy. I won't say his name. Amazing fucking artist. Brilliant penciler. He can ink his own work. And he, for the most part, has always worked with an inker. At one point, he quit using an inker, and he inked himself by drawing digitally to speed it up and to honestly collect a bigger paycheck. Right. And I didn't like it because it looked so stiff. The backgrounds looked stiff. You can tell he used, software to lay out the buildings and the architecture, and his structures, his figures, they lost some of the life in them.
Yeah.
And he asked me, what do you think of this story? And I'm like, I'm not fucking big on it, dude. And he just kind of like looked at me, and I'm like, well, I just like fucking old school artwork. I love to see the imperfections in artwork. I don't want everything to be fucking perfect.
No,
that's the fun of it, Neil Adams was saying something about that, right?
Yeah. Neil Adams said that that style is everything that an artist does wrong.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. And I've always liked. I mean, look, you look at somebody like George Perez, who was a legend. Not my style. Do you know what I mean? I was never a big fan of his work because it was too clean for me. I understand why people. Yeah, no, I mean, dude, I'm not taking anything away from that guy, right? But in terms of taste, I like to see the human hand, or something like Timothy Truman, for instance. Like he sometimes gets his proportions off. A little bit, you know what I mean? His limbs are a little too straight, that kind of a thing. One of my favorite artists, or somebody like Mike Ploog, for instance. Like I could say that like the best artist when it came to horror. I mean, Bernie, like I said, everybody else is in his shadow, but my favorite, Ploog.
Okay,
right.
And there's Corbin. He did some tweaking.
Oh, Corbin's dope too.
And he was ahead of the game.
Kyle has moved into close to Bernie phase with me.
Yeah,
I told Kyle recently, I'm like, dude, your work. Like I texted him a couple of days ago. I was like, dude, your work is just fucking beautiful. You're one of the modern masters in comic books now.
Yes.
You know, I mean, and he totally tips his hat to Kelly, and I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. You know, you have, you know, I love Kelly Jones'
I love
work.
some Kelly, but
I love me some Kelly
Kyle's
too, man.
just-
Yeah.
Well, someone put it. I read it somewhere online about him. Someone said he went to fucking Mordor and came back a different artist. Like something happened. That's what they said. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like, because I mean, he's just on this whole other level for me now. Like looking at him, you know, like him and Bisley are like my two main influences right now, and that's that's all I'm looking at.
See,
straight up.
I really fucking grew to love Simon's work the older I've gotten.
Yeah, me too.
When I was younger, I was wooed by the Image founders. So everything was Image, you know, like that. If you don't draw like that, you suck, you know. And so you'd see some of Simon's wonky or had too many beers drawings. You know what I mean? And you're like, okay, well, you can tell he was fucking drunk when he drew that page. When I was younger, I'm like, it's okay, you know. But now that I'm older, I look at the fucking freedom in his work and the ability that man can paint masterfully fucking pen and ink and he doesn't give a fuck. He just draws.
Yes.
I love that. And like another guy I'm real big on is Liam Sharp. Love Liam's work.
Dude, that Batman detective fucking Celtic book he did. Oh man,
yeah, dude.
So good.
And like his Wonder Woman when he did his Wonder Woman series, I was like, you know, I love Liam's work. He's a dude artist. He's a fucking muscle dude artist. You know what I mean? Death's Head. You know? And I'm like, he's fucking drawing Wonder Woman. What the fuck? And then when I picked up the first issue, it was beautiful. Every fucking leaf and bark on the tree, it was awesome.
Dude. The shrubbery and the panel, the gutter work. Like all kinds of stuff, like with him. He said, it's just it's so fun to look at. You know what I mean?
And see, so everything that y'all are talking about, like the fun shit, a computer will never produce that.
Thank you.
No, I don't think so. I just think I don't know. I just have to go. I have to be a hard no on it for even just because my gut says no. And I guess it sounds very stupid of me to say that, but I have to go.
And you can't buy original artwork from a computer at a fucking show. You can't get a sketch from a computer at a show or a fucking autograph from one of these fucking hack artists. You know what I mean?
I think
selling point one day.
Keywords can give me an autograph.
Well, look, I think that the people who believe that AI art is going to replace human artists, you know, like somebody with a soul, are the people who also think that like a room full of monkeys will create the complete works of William Shakespeare. You know, you've heard that old straw man. Was it? Yeah, like a room full of monkeys, like on typewriters. Eventually, they'll create the complete works of William Shakespeare. Bullshit.
But I will say, it might be a selling point one day. Like you might have a cert on there. Say if you're funding a book or making something like human made certification.
12 monkeys wrote this.
You know what I mean? I don't think it's gonna really fuck with us in our lifetime, though.
No,
but I've been wrong. Way. But I think, like I heard, like even your boy was saying that. Zach, he was saying this would be great for people that are trying to bang out a bunch of books before they die, and they need conceptual layouts for the worlds that they're trying to establish visually, and they can look at that and redraw it. I get that, but it's like, I mean, again, I don't.
But you look at like the.
Well, I understand where it's coming from.
But you look at the concept drawings from, like, I'm a big fan of concept drawings. From,
I love concept. I just love concept art. It's awesome, dude.
Movies, right? Like something like this right here.
Love that shit. What you got there?
Right?
Oh, Alien. Okay. So you got some Mobius in there, and
I got some Mobius in here.
Droulet. Sorry, pardon my French.
No, that's okay.
That is French too.
My French pronunciation leaves a lot to be desired. You know why? Because French people don't make horror movies. That's why. Well, I mean, there was one.
They make them some horror. They make them horror. They make them comics though.
Yeah, they sure do, man.
They treat their artists like rock stars over there.
Yup. Yeah, because believe it or not, comic book artists in France are actually considered real artists. But yeah, look, I mean.
But that's because they're really drawing.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to
look at that. Like you could
stuff specifically.
Some art, dude.
Everybody knows the Giger stuff, right?
Yeah,
everybody knows the Giger stuff.
Big. But biomech metal.
Yeah, but the all the human stuff, like the especially the spacesuits, are clearly Mobius's designs. And what I'm saying is you're never going to get a Droulet or a Mobius out of a fucking computer. Right?
Well, dude, I mean, I don't know, brother. I don't know. To be honest with you, there's shit that's just coming out like in a year. Just wait till you see the shit that's coming out. I'm being honest with you.
I hear you. I hear you.
This is what's going to get hit hardest is the conceptual artists that comic art. I don't know because of the sequentials. It's going to be a little harder to do that. But don't quote me on it. But
I'm thinking also of like something like a movie like Conan the Barbarian, right? How you had Ron Cobb was like the main designer on that, and created that look of Robert E. Howard's Hyboria.
So good,
right? In other words, every artist has their own flavor, and I don't see AI art having that kind of individuality, right? I don't
weird
see
too, though. Like in the programs, you pick out like multiple artists and a topic, and then it generates that. So like I want David Finch and Simon Bisley with then you'll put in like Conan the Barbarian. Realistic.
RJ did a 6-gun gorilla that was pretty startling.
I'm not gonna sit there and say it looks bad, dude. It looks fucking brilliant, you know what I mean? But it just I'm anti it. Like fuck that. I'm just like I'm anti dude. Like they're not. I don't want them taking
Where's
over
the soul,
everything.
dude? Where's the
There's
soul?
no soul?
That's what.
Like, singularity, brother. Like, I'm sorry, it's coming. I mean, it might not be in our lifetime.
Dude, we're definitely living in clown world. That's for damn sure. but you know what? Thank God we've got great artists still and great art to help us through the brutal end times.
Guess what, guys? These are going to be around a lot longer than computers are.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like when I'm working with an artist, I don't care if they use a computer. I just don't want to see it.
Oh, right.
Right. Like once again, it's like CGI. If I don't notice that it's there,
no, I hear you.
Then it's
guilty pleasure.
Man. Anyway, we should be I think bringing this. We should be wrapping this up. Methinks Andrew has been a champ. Hanging out, even though he's feeling under the weather. Actually, you know what? First, let's take another look at that campaign.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, Andrew, and thanks for
no problem. Yes, thank you.
My question. I figured I had you on, and I'd like to know your.
I'm not shy, dude. You can ask me whatever you want. I don't give a shit.
That's a big conversation right now. Like that's a hot fucking topic right now.
Yeah, you can ask Pops. I'll talk about whatever fucking topic y'all want to talk about. I don't give a shit.
You are our kind of dude, sir. Yeah. So everybody, go check this out.
Look, nobody is talking about this book. Nobody.
Well,
Back
they will
when
be.
This shit first happened, Hart Fisher was all over talk show. He was on Sally Jesse. He was on Jerry Springer. He was booked to go on Donahue, but he destroyed Sally Jesse. So Phil chicken shit out.
Phil, you pussy.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, it's like now nobody will talk about this guy at all. And he was wronged by that Netflix series. He really was. They misappropriated his fucking comic book covers and put their actor on the cover instead of the Dahmer art that Hart had on there. Right? I mean, they fucked it up, dudes. This dude deserves, just like I said, just on his body of work, he deserves this support. And to
without
be funny,
a doubt, you know? without a doubt. But...
And go check out American Horror's channel on Roku.
Oh, is that
that's Hart's? That's
is it really
Hart's channel? Yeah.
How did I not know that?
I gotta get a Roku. That sounds like fun.
I got one. Wait, hold on.
The same guy who built Hart's is building ours. I'm just saying.
I got.
What is that again?
Huh?
What's it called?
American Horrors. American Horrors Network. It's not the show.
Right.
Which when you pull up American Horrors online, you'll get the show, not the Roku network. You want to go to Roku.
Well, you're thinking of American Horror Story. This is American Horrors?
Make sure you go to Roku and look it up. And like you said, make sure you get past the show because search engines.
It's old school channel, Brian. Like they play things randomly. So you go in there, you just watch it for what it is. It's like the old school,
Yep.
old school
cool.
network. You know what I mean? They're gonna have different commercials and things like that.
Man.
And I
That's
don't
right up my
have a
alley,
Roku,
man.
but it sounds like fun. Something I can watch when the kids go to bed.
I have one that I bought for my mom because like she was having trouble, with the dimension, everything was having trouble like with the controls, on the cable. So I got a Roku because it has like literally 4 buttons. So I still have that, so I can watch it through that for sure.
Yeah, and watch out! Real soon, you're gonna see the Madness Comic Network over there too.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's gonna be pretty sick.
That's what we're doing.
Anyway, real quick, Andrew, tell these fine folks where they can find you.
Guys, you can find me on Facebook. I'm a real simple person. Just Facebook, Andrew Mangum Art. Look me up on Facebook. I run my Andrew Mangum Art page. Gabriel does also. He helps me out because I don't know shit about technology. So I either respond or Gabriel responds. But I'm also on Facebook. I don't really do any of the other stuff. So that's about it.
All right, man.
I think we are the lucky group that gets Andrew to come out online once in a while and talk.
No
to us.
shit. No shit. This dude's awesome, Pops.
He's come out to our show a couple times. But like I said, I've known him since before I had a show, guys. He's a good dude. Back what he does. Back what all these guys do. You know what's up.
Yeah.
Check him out.
I need all you guys also to, like I said, go look up Kyle's book, Mosaic.
Yeah, I see it right here. I have it on eBay. You can get the graphic novel, very nice, for $5. Plus $4 shipping.
Get it.
Sold.
You
sold.
can get,
I wrote it. I got it
you
written
can get
down.
the 5-issue breakdown set for $8.99 plus $7.99 shipping, and there's a multitude of different.
Amazing.
That's
I
just
do not eBay,
I'm gonna
but
get
if
it
one
for
of you
sure.
would grab that for me, I would pay you for it.
It might be on.
I was gonna look on Amazon. I'm gonna look
Amazon
on Amazon
too.
too.
Yeah,
Like I highly recommend it. Like I said, that's one of the books, and Kyle's one of the artists that helped get me through cancer. So,
That's what art is
work's
for,
beautiful.
brother. That's what art is for.
And hey, so I'm also going to pimp out my son again. You ought to need to get him on a cover for your book.
Oh, dude, without a doubt. As soon as I can afford it.
Yeah, man. I showed you guys. He did that Bushy Boot, the gorilla on the Bushy
Yes,
Boot
it's awesome.
cover. And Passion is the book that him and you are both working on, right, Andrew?
No, Passion is all Gabriel's book.
Okay.
Gabriel will have our. This is Gabriel's preview book for his book that's going to launch on Indiegogo next year. We're not doing this. We're not doing our creator-owned books the way other people do them. We are paying and producing our books first, and then launching the campaigns.
Oh, best way to do it.
That's the best way
to do it.
That's the best way to do it. People will love that, dude.
Oh yeah.
And then this is a wraparound cover for my book.
Oh, it's dope. What's your book,
Yeah,
man?
it
What's your
is.
book called? I like that.
Yeah, man.
Fucking badass. What's your book?
Oh
called,
man.
I like that.
Yeah, Andrew, what book is that?
I'll let news out on it in January. I'll let news out on it in January. This is something I created in high school. And it's something I've been holding on to for fucking a long time. And like I said, I do covers for Dynamite Entertainment. I got a cover on new Alice Cooper comics, and I'm doing covers for Merc Publishing. So I'm doing covers for those guys, and Death Rage just came out today from Merc Publishing.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh, that looks awesome.
I got one more thing. I gotta show one more thing.
Talking
I wanna
about
see if
heavy metal,
Andrew
man.
I gotta see if Andrew knows what this is.
Oh, that's a book I drew. Yeah.
That's dope.
That's a book
Did
I
you
drew.
read that, Pops?
Huh?
Did you read through that?
Oh yes, I love this, dude.
Yeah, it's
I
bad, dude.
love it. That's his wraparound cover. I was so torn because Gabriel had a cover on this book too, and I had to choose between father and son, which
Oh,
one I was
man.
going to get.
That's
And
never
the
pretty.
wraparound was just badass, so Dad won.
Yeah.
But then the next time I saw Gabriel cover pop up on Bushy Boo, I was like, all right, I got the father-son team in the house now. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah. I
That's
forgot
awesome.
about this, or I would have had it out. I had to go dig that out real fast.
Thank you, Pops.
Matt, tell
Anyway,
these
guys, go ahead.
Matt, tell these. Wait, hold on a sec. Andrew, just hang out for a second so we can just hit you up in the back room.
Yeah.
If that's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My phone's getting ready to die, so let's.
Okay. All right. All right.
Next time I got left.
Okay. All right. If you just disappear, we'll understand. But we're just about to sign off. Matt, where can these fools find you?
You guys can find me at Runecutter Comic on Twitter or YouTube. It's Metal Movies and Rookies. If you guys want, go to butchcleaver.com. You can pick up my book. It's a part 1 or part 2. It's about a butcher who gets killed. He's brought back to life by a voodoo curse, and that curse gives him the power to weaponize bone on a molecular level. Check it out if you want. Thanks, folks.
Hell yeah. As always, people, thank you so much. Smash that like button and the subscribe and the ding-ding-ding-dong, the little bell. Tickle the algorithm's ass with a feather for us if you can. Anyway, folks, we will talk to you next week. Peace and love. And, of course, always.